Have you ever thought about working for a charity organization in the UK? Most people come into the UK either as a student, and this involves a huge amount of money, and some come in as a skilled worker, which requires you to be in certain professions, and some come in as an unskilled worker. But did you know that the charity worker visa allows you to come into the UK to work for a charity organization, whether you are skilled or unskilled? If you cannot come in either as a student or as a skilled worker, that's okay, because in this video I will tell you how you can achieve coming into the UK to work for a charity organization. The good thing about it is that you can study while you're in this job, and you can take up extra 20 hours in the same job sector as your main role while under this charity worker visa, and you can bring in your partner, your dependents, or your children. The other good thing is that you don't require an IELTS, and additionally, you can extend your visa. Hi everyone, welcome and welcome again back to my channel. My name is Uche Agor, and in this channel I share immigration updates ranging from employment opportunities, information that help nurses, scholarship opportunities. If this is what interests you, please give this video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. If you're new to my channel, you're highly welcome. Please do not make it your last time, because you would love it here. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for always coming back to this platform. You're an absolute star. You don't need any fancy degree to get this kind of visa. You can bring in your family along with you and come in and experience life in the UK for up to 12 months. And if you're wondering, this is too good to be true, no, it's absolutely real. Although you'll be working temporarily for charity, the additional 20 hours is where you would be able to save money while working. In this video, we will discuss what the UK charity worker visa is, the eligibility, the duration, the documents you need, what you need to do to get started. Finally, I will tell you the charity organizations that are offering this visa. What is the UK charity worker? This charity worker visa, this is a short-term temporary work visa that allows overseas nationals such as Africans, Asians, and other countries to come into the UK to do an unpaid voluntary work for the UK charity. There is more to this, because although this visa would last for 12 months, you can extend your visa and take up additional 20 hours that you would be paid for. Let's look at the overview. You can apply for a temporary work visa, which is a charity worker visa, if you want to do an unpaid voluntary work for charity and you meet other eligibility requirements. This visa is a Tier 5 visa. For the sponsorship, you must have a certificate of sponsorship from a licensed employer before you can apply to come to work in the UK. The work you do in the UK must relate to that of your sponsor organization. So there are a list of licensed sponsors or licensed employers. I would show you at the end of this video how long it takes. You can apply for this visa for up to 3 months before the day you are due to start work in the UK. These dates will be listed in the certificate of sponsorship. This means that you can apply for this visa 3 months before your actual start date. As part of your application, you will need to prove your identity and provide your documents. And to get the decision, if you're applying outside of the UK, the decision will be in 3 weeks. And if you're applying inside of the UK, the decision will be for 8 weeks. And you might be wondering, how much does it cost? You and your partner or children will need to pay the application fee. You would also need to pay for the health surcharge, which is about £1,035 per year. And you need to also bring a proof of your bank statement. The application fee for each applicant is £298. The fee is the same whether you're applying while in the UK or outside of the UK. How long can you stay? You can stay in the UK for 12 months, whichever is shorter. Even though you can stay in the UK for 12 months, you can extend your visa. And if your employer has ticked your maintenance fee, then you may not need to provide your bank statements, because if the maintenance fee means that they will be sponsoring you and they'll be looking after you while or when you arrive. Let's talk about what you can do and what you cannot do when you're on this visa. When you're on this visa pathway, you can study for some courses, which means that you will need an academic technology approval for the scheme certificate, and you can work for your sponsor in the job described in your COS. You can do additional 20 hours work. You can bring your partner and your children if they're eligible, What you cannot do is that you cannot receive any payment for work aside the 20 hours additional work you're going to be doing, if that makes sense. That simply means that the work that you're currently employed for will be unpaid. However, you can take up additional 20 hours where you'll be paid for. And if you're married, your spouse can do any job and your spouse can work for any number of hours unlimited, and then you can also raise money. You cannot take up a permanent job. That means you cannot say, oh, I have arrived in the UK and I'm going to take up another job. You have to take up a job in the same sector of which your sponsor is from, and you cannot get public funds. Let's talk about the eligibility quickly. For you to be eligible for the temporary charity worker visa, you must have a COS, which is a certificate of sponsorship, and your certificate of sponsorship needs to have a reference number from your UK sponsor, and you must be 18 years and over, and also you would need to show your proof of funds unless you're exempt. Like I said, the exemption is if your employer takes the maintenance on your COS, then you are exempt. And you cannot get this visa if you've previously been given a religious worker visa or charity worker visa in the last year. The reason why I'm actually making this video is that during one of my live streams here on YouTube, I had somebody ask me about the UK charity worker visa. So if you're the one who dropped that question, you gave me the inspiration for this video. And if you're watching this video up to this point and you have any video you would want me to talk about, I absolutely love when people drop those comments or suggestions in my videos, because it gives me an idea of what my audience is interested in, and then I can research about it. So like I said, if your employer has not taken your maintenance, then you must have at least £1,270 in your bank account to show that you can support yourself in the UK. You will need to have this money available at least 28 days in a row within the 31 days of you applying for this visa. However, you can see for yourself here where it says that if your employer can support you instead, your certificate of sponsorship must confirm this. That means your employer will need to complete the sponsor certifies maintenance on your certificate to show that they can sponsor you for this, and then you don't need to provide that proof. What documents do you need? When you apply, you would need your international passport, you will need your certificate of sponsorship, which will have a reference number. Then you would also need to show evidence of your personal savings. It could be a bank statement. You need a proof of your relationship with your partner or your children. For your partner, you just need to provide your court wedding certificate. And you also need a TB test result if you're from a country where you need to take this test. For example, my country, Nigeria, we need to take this test. This can just be taken, just search for TB test centers. There is one in Abuja, there is one in Lagos, and then you can book online or call their number to find out how you can have a TB test. Once you meet all these requirements, you've gathered your documents, the next thing for you is to apply. You would apply and get a response in 3 weeks or 8 weeks if you're applying outside of the UK. I know this might not be exactly what you want to hear, not being paid for a job, but the fact that you can take up additional 20 hours and get paid for, and your spouse can also work, I feel like it's a plus, especially if you've been struggling to relocate or struggling to get a job. If this is what would interest you, then please give it a shot. You never can tell what happens after 12 months, what difference is going to make, or where your career will take you to next. And finally, I also mentioned that the beautiful thing is that you can extend your visa. You can apply to extend your temporary worker charity worker visa. And you need to do this before your current visa expires. And also you must continue to meet the eligibility. And at this point, you need to be in the UK for you to extend your visa. And yeah, once you have all your documents, I will put the link to this video in the description. Come over to this place and click on apply now and apply for your visa. Okay, and lastly, I'll be sharing my screen to tell you the list of licensed sponsors in the UK where you can get these jobs. I would also add the link of this in the description below. Because this document is saved as an Excel, so once you go on the government website, you will see to download. Go to your downloads and you can find this Excel spreadsheet. The best thing to do is to filter your search. At the top right corner, you would see sort and filter. Filter your search to charity worker, and you find over 1,000 charity organizations that are giving temporary work visa for you to come into the UK to work as a charity worker. Go through their websites. Once you go through their websites, you would apply to them. Some organizations may have a set time, date of the year in which they will start accepting applications. Get the name of the organization, go on Google, paste it, go on their website and apply for the job role. They would get back to you and interview you. I wish you all the best. Thank you for watching this video. If you found this video useful, please like this video, comment and share. Please also subscribe to my channel.